Welcome to Vialet Studio, where Vialet and her guests share stories of their passions, inspirations, and spiritual journeys. Vialet creates a sacred and fun space for individuals to be able to share information about themselves, their work, and their community. We are so happy you have joined us today. Let's get started with your host, the magical creator of Discover Your Spiritual Gifts, Vialet. Vialet Rain.
So, hi everyone, welcome to Vialet Studio. I'm so excited today because I have Brenda Hardwick with me. Such a beautiful, inspirational soul. I love her to death. And so we get to talk to her today. So welcome, Brenda.
Thank you, Violet. I'm really happy you asked me to be here with you. And I'm looking forward to doing this. So
It's awesome. So for those of you watching, some of the things that I do know about Brenda that I will share. Number one, she's a beautiful author. She writes fictional books and different spiritual books to help us on our spiritual journey. So, what types of books have you written, Brenda? Share with us a little bit. I see them on the shelf back there.
yes. So I've got 2 fiction and 2 nonfiction. The fiction books are a series. It's Harlem Angel, book 1 of the Circle, and The Conductor, book 2 of the Circle. And then I have 2 nonfiction books, and the first one of those was Laughing Your Life Healthy. And the second book is Allowing the Magic, Allowing the Miracles, A Blueprint for Ascension. And the Allowing the Magic and Miracles and The Conductor are the 2 books that I actually finished and published during the first 2 months of the pandemic. So that's what I was doing.
Wow. And for those watching that don't know, Brenda leads sessions periodically called Laughter Yoga. So talk to us about what is Laughter Yoga. It is amazing.
So laughter yoga is a practice that was developed by a doctor in Mumbai, India, Dr. Kataria. He studied laughter and realized the health effects of it, and then began to hold laughter yoga sessions. And what you do, it's a session where you don't need a yoga mat and you don't need yoga pants. You come however you show up works. And it's an hour of laughing, because laughter raises your serotonin levels, it raises your endorphin levels, it raises your emotional intelligence, and it feels good. Laughter actually, when you get a good belly laugh, one of those laughs that makes you cry or makes you cough, it cleanses your whole body. It uses every muscle in your body. So it's really a good workout.
It really is. And it's contagious, because when you used to do laughter yoga at the center, everybody in the center would be laughing, even if they weren't in the class, because it just waves through everything, right? It's amazing to have that. So if you ever get an opportunity to experience laughter yoga with Brenda, I would suggest go for it, because it's pretty amazing, and people come back and how it affects them, and the benefits are absolutely amazing. It really is.
I'm still doing the laughter yoga on the 3rd Sundays. I've done a couple of sessions online, so I can do that online. And once we get back to where we can meet in a group, I will have sessions over at the St. Andrew Lutheran Church Healing Arts Center. And it's from 3 to 4. It's only an hour, and it's an hour that's going to make you feel good.
Well, I love that. I just love laughter yoga. The other thing that Brenda does, which is really amazing, is she works with angels. And so she does angel readings and angelic type healings and those sorts of things. So talk to us about your connection with the angels and how that journey has expanded, because I know it really does expand for all of us, right?
Yes. So I'm an angel communicator. I've always been able to see angels ever since I was a kid. I've been able to see them. And for a long time, I didn't know what to do with that. And I spent a lot of time going, yeah, whatever, you guys. And they would step back and say, well, okay. And then something would happen and they'd say, well, see, yeah, okay. I have started listening to them all the time now, my angels especially, but I also found that they wanted to share with others. So when you come to me for a session, and when I first started this, I used a deck of angel cards, but I have graduated from that, mostly because of them, because they said, you don't need those. And they had to show me, but they were right. And I've learned that in opening myself to what my gifts are and how strong my connection is with the angels, their information just flows. So if you come to see me, I tell you what it is they want you to know, and then I can usually get them to answer your questions. How they answer the questions is up to them. The healing sessions, oh my gosh, they have evolved, especially in the last year and a half. I did a session an Akashic record reading session with Vialet and Jason, and was given another gift. And I call it the living waters. They didn't tell me what it was. They just tell me what it did and how it worked. And then they said, practice. So that's what I did. For a long time, I just practiced. Everybody that came to see me and all my friends got a taste, because I had to learn what it did and how it worked. It's really a beautiful healing session, a healing process. And in a full session, they usually will have me do that. None of what I do is Brenda. It's all what your angels tell me you need. And whether I pull from the Seraphic wisdom or the archangels or the ascended masters or the healing waters, or the living waters rather. That's what I call it, living waters. I think I said healing waters. It's what healing waters is, what it does. It's living. They tell me what it is that you need. So I once had someone say, so are you going to do your Reiki on me? And I said, well, it depends. It might be Reiki and maybe something else. It depends on what you need. I don't make the decision. I open for the healing energy to come through me. I am the vessel. And whatever it is you need is what happens.
Well, things have shifted. 20 years ago, you had a Reiki person, you had this person and that person. And in today's environment, at least most people that I know, we have a toolbox. It's a box. Yes. Of lots of things. Yes. And everybody needs a different combination and a different order within that box. And we just follow the guidance that's given us to be able to do that. It's not just this or this. It's a whole, just come and I'm going to do what I think is best. But your beautiful modality of living waters, I've had an opportunity, I think so far when I do Akashic readings or the gallery, to really they've given me modalities to 3 different people now. And it's yours, when it came in, was really powerful to see what that energy was going to do and what was going to come out of that. It was really exciting, and I couldn't wait to see how that all kind of fell into place and what that looked like, because it was super powerful just receiving it, to give it to you. Like my whole body tingled with the idea of this new type of energy. So I couldn't wait to talk to you today to see how that's evolving and growing, because I definitely want to come and have a session. I've not had a session. I just seen how it works, and that's enough for me. It's pretty amazing.
It is, it's amazing and it's beautiful. And I will tell you that every person's experience with it is a little bit different, because what comes through is for you. It's for you. And the very first one I did, they cleansed me as well. Because when I got done, I had to sit down, and I had to, it was just one of my girlfriends. I said, okay, you just hang on just a minute, just hold your thoughts, because I had to come back down, because her angels took her, but my angels took me, and the water flows through me. So I knew how they did that, but I didn't expect that. And so now the waters, when they come through, it's two streams, and one's from Gaia and one's from the Creator, and it comes through, and then it covers the person. And I will see, it's always energized. I'll see the colors that come with it, and they're typically the colors of the archangels that are attending the person. But there's been others. And then there's a piece while they're encased in while the person is encased in the waters are working. But their guides will come through, and I've had ascended masters. They give messages, and it's beautiful. And it's like it's a space, it's a particular space, and the angels are present, the ascended masters are present, and they determine who's going to step forward and speak. And the message is always for the person on the table. And it's amazing. I've been really surprised at a couple of the masters that have come through and spoken. And it's really funny when they acknowledge that I'm surprised. Like, okay, you're going to tell her that I'm shocked you're here. That's okay. But the messages they're amazing. And I mean, I usually don't remember them, because I discontinue my connection with the person's energy. But there will be a piece here and a piece there that I'll remember, because I find it a profound message, as well as how the person is supposed to be receiving it, or how they are receiving it. It's really a beautiful experience. And sometimes it's very short, because their intent, and they need it to be fast. Other times it lingers and it takes a little longer. Sometimes the angels will come and take the person away, and then the energy they work on the person's physical body and their spirit and their light. And then they'll bring them back before the end. I've had people record their sessions, and I tell them, you need to wait at least 24 hours or 48 hours. They tell me how long to wait. And I had a person who didn't wait and tried to listen, and it was garbled. And then they waited the length of time they were told to wait, and it was perfectly clear. I said, well, see, it's not me.
It's all them, and it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful, and I love hearing that. I can't wait to come and experience it. I'm going to come and have a session, because awesome. I really want to do that. So for people listening that may not have ever connected to angels, because I'm going to ask this question, because I know you know I know what your answer is going to be. Are we special because we're able to talk to our angels and connect? Or can everyone, are they trying to communicate with each of us?
Yes. No, we are we are special in the way that we are open and aware. We know they're there. We know they're present. And we know how to listen better. But even that's a learning experience. So everyone has angels. Everyone has angels. You have guardian angels, and then you have the archangels that attend you depending on what you're facing for the day. When you wake up in the morning, your archangels are there. And it can be one or it can be many. It depends on what you're going to face. Your guardian angels attach at different points in your life. And some of them attach, if you are an old soul, you've got attachments from past lives. I call them elders. And they're with you all the time. How much they interact with you depends on you. If you are open, if you are accepting, they try to get your attention. They throw feathers. They like shiny dimes and pennies. They might use a piece of music that is familiar to you from a childhood or from a happy time. They might use a fragrance. When my twin granddaughters were born and James was in the NICU with them that first day, he smelled the perfume that his grandmother, his great grandmother, used to wear. And I said, oh, Grandmother Butts came to visit and see the babies, because she did. And she's come here to the house a couple of times, but they will do a signature when they come to visit, because they want your attention. And James was the only one that smelled the scent in the rooms, and none of the nurses smelled that, because he asked, do you smell that? And everybody was like, what are you talking about? So it was just for him to know that she was there. One of my taglines is, your angels are waiting, because that's what they do. They can't step in and help or influence or do anything that you ask unless you ask. And that's hard for us, because we've been taught that we don't need nobody. We don't need no help. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. You have to ask, because the Creator gave us free will. So if we insist on putting that boat in the water and traveling upstream against the current, they have to let us.
Even though they sit on the sideline going,
yes.
What is she doing?
Yes, even though they're laughing.
What is she doing, right?
It's funny when we struggle, especially when they know that we really don't have to.
Right? There's always, I tell people, you can either take the short road or you can take the long road. They'll let you take any road that you choose.
Anyone you want. They will let
along right with you, patiently waiting, but you get to the same point.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I just love that. The other modality that you work with and you teach is Seraphim wisdom. Talk to us about Seraphim wisdom and what that is, and what are Seraphims?
So Seraphim are the high angels. If you look at the human org chart that we put them into, it's a box of 9 squares. There's 3, 3, and 3. And the lower level, or the bottom 3, are the angels that interact with us most often. And that's where the archangels and your guardians, and then there's another group there that is in charge of groups like churches and countries, etc. Those are the ones that interact with us the most. The 3 in the middle are I call them the administrative group. They make sure nobody runs into each other going up and down, and that messages are delivered up and blessings are delivered down. The third group, these are the ones that are closest to the Creator, and the Seraphim are one of those groups. If you ever see a picture of the Seraphim, instead of having 2 wings at the shoulder, they have 6 wings. So they have 2 at the shoulder, 2 at the head, and 2 at the feet. They are mentioned in the Bible. 3 or 4 times, somewhere in there. But the one, Isaiah 6 is where that's the biggest mention of them. They typically have not had much to do with us, but they have taken an interest in what we are doing down here because of what we are doing down here. And I am attuned to the Seraphic energy. I work with one Seraphim, Seraphidalian, and he is responsible, if you will, for North America. And he's trying to raise the vibration because all of us and Gaia, we are all ascending and our vibrations are all rising, but we need some help with that. So I teach 2 Seraphic wisdom classes, but I digress. Let me go back to that in a minute and tell you about the other 2 boxes on that top level. The other level, the other boxes are the cherubs or the cherubim, okay? They guard the way to the tree of life. And they watch folks coming if you're headed to the Creator. The seraphim, okay, they're talking. Sorry.
They're excited.
They're excited. The seraphim have the Creator's ear. So they will lean in and hear the word of the Creator, and then they rise up in ecstasy. They burn up, turn to ash, fall, and come together to rise again, to do it again. They praise continuously. That's what they live for. That's what they, no, live is probably not the right word. That's what they are there for. The fact that they are taking an interest in what we are doing is very profound because they're helping with the shifting and the moving that is going on. The cherubs, most of us know Cupid. Well, he's not the only one. And I see them mostly with young people, children. There's always a couple of them around babies. When the girls first came home, we could see on the video cameras that we had in the room, you could see the angels whizzing through and around. There were some nights that it looked like a party was going on in there. Yeah. The third group on that top row are called the elders, and they are in charge or responsible for justice. All the angels have things that they do. They can all do anything. They put them in, we put them in boxes because that's how we understand things. I hate to use that terminology because it really feels like it limits them. They can do anything. And even though I know who my angels are, I rarely, if ever, call them by name. I just say, okay, angels. Whoever is going to be the best suited to do what I'm asking is who's going to move in and do it. The Seraphic wisdom courses I teach. There are 2, Love and Faith, the Seraph's Love and Faith. It is 22 attunements. Once you are attuned, you are considered a Seraphic wisdom practitioner. There are 6 waves of Seraphic energy that you can send. Now, in the beginning, we could only send 2, love or love and healing. Now we can send all of them, and they are, they're amazing. We've been sending them since all this stuff got started, and between the pandemic and the Black Lives Matter and, you know, all of the stuff that's going on with all of that, and all of the stuff that's still going on with our government, we've been sending waves on a daily basis. And it's a combination, love and healing, love and faith, faith and manifestation. So we're using all the tools that we have to help the whole of mankind, not just ourselves. But don't get me wrong, I send waves for me, and I send waves for my kids, and I send waves for babies, because this is a way to extend the healing of the angels to everybody. The second class, the Seraphic Wisdom class, is called Birth of the New Avalon, Canada, the Land of Dreams is Awakening. This class has 45 attunements. When you are finished, when you're completed, you are considered a New Earth Guardian. This class has more healing energies in it, but they're different, and they're more for your personal self than they are for sending and using on others. And they are geared for healing Gaia, helping her heal, and in that way, healing her and all the planet's inhabitants. They're very powerful. There are several of them that I use personally. You know, when I feel sick, I will initiate these they're not waves. I'll initiate the energy to help heal me, and it makes a difference. So I encourage people, if you feel led, or if you feel called, or if you're just interested, reach out to me. Take a look at what these might do for you. When I speak with someone, the Seraphim will tell me they're a candidate. They're a candidate. So when that happens, I always extend an invitation for the classes, because I don't know what everyone is capable of, and I don't try to guess. I do what the angels tell me to do, because when I don't, I get Brenda in trouble.
You know, when we follow where we're inspired or to led, it's so much better. And you know, I kind of do the same thing. People will come in and I'll be like, oh, I see you here, or I see you doing this class, or I see you, when they tell me that's what they are. And I've taken both of those, and they're amazing. I am a practitioner, and I love all of those classes. I can't say enough about them. The attunements are amazing. But I'm an angel person too. I've been working with angels most of my life, and you and I share that gift that I love to connect people to their angels. So I also want to give us an opportunity to talk about your Ascension book and program that you're working on, because I know it's something new that you're working on to offer. So
Yes.
What's that about, Brenda? What new do you have going on?
So here, let me grab it and pull it up close. So this is the book. Yeah, this side. Trying to get the light there.
Pretty.
So it's a little book. It's not a lot. It's 70 pages, but it is full of what you're going to do to embrace the rising and the changing of your vibration. One of the things I hear from people often is magic and miracles. Yeah, magic is magicians on TV. There's no such thing as miracles. Well, yes, there are. And they happen every day. And this book and what the class is going to do is show you how to see them, because we miss stuff, you know? For example, it's a miracle that we wake up every morning. There's no guarantee that you're going to roll over when the sun comes up, or if you're a person that works nights, when the moon comes up. There's no guarantee. So that's a miracle that you even sit up and take a deep breath in the morning. There are smaller ones. One of the ones I mentioned in the book is, have you ever gotten to work on autopilot? You've gotten all the way to work and you don't remember any of the trip. You don't remember the lights. You don't remember the highway. You don't remember any of the things that happened on that trip. You're just suddenly there. That's a miracle that you made it all the way to work, not being cognizant of the fact that you're driving and you didn't hit something, nobody ran you over or ran you off the road. So miracles happen all the time, and there's magic all around us. The magic of manifestation, saying that you want something and having it happen, and then you're shocked. Wow. Most people don't even think, did I do that? But you did. And being able to talk to your angels. I had a client a couple of years ago when I finished their session with me. She said, is any of this written down? Because I told her how to ask her angels what their names are if she needed to know their names. And I said, no. And they said, not yet. So I said, not yet. And once she left, I was like, okay, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Oh, you'll see. Okay, fine. I had a healing session with Garrett, Garrett, and that's when he told me the title. They told him to tell me the title. Okay. And then it took me a little while to get it written. In January, I was ready to publish, but stuff kept getting in the way from the last few pieces. And then the pandemic happened, and it was like, now you can finish. Oh, because it needed to go in the book. Because it's such a big shift of how we think and how we do things. And that was just the beginning. Like you said when we were talking earlier, that's just the beginning. It is like a snowball going downhill. The changes are going to be immense and amazing. Our new normal is not going to be anything that we expect. This book gives you some ways of how to handle that, and some ways of how to not be overwhelmed by everything that's happening in your life, however different that is from my life or yours.
People are so afraid of change. We know that. They are so afraid to move outside of their routine. They're so afraid. I'm guilty too. You want me to get online and do virtual? I don't know what that looks like. How do I do that? You got to learn through it. We're just so hard on ourselves. And after we come out of this pandemic, everybody's like, we're just going to go back to the way it was. I don't think that's how this is going to work, because they want us to shift and change. The old has not been working. That's why we're just changing.
I don't think it's going to be possible to go back.
Right.
I just don't. It's getting dark in here. Let me turn some light on.
Okay. So we can see her. There we go.
I would have done that a bit earlier, but there were babies outside the door.
Yes. I love that. But no, I think sometimes, and you know this, it's almost like spirit has to shock us into changing, or hit us with a 2x4, move us really hard, because as people, we can get really stubborn. No, I've always done it this way.
Yes.
I can hear that. We've always done it this way.
Yes.
Guess what?
A lot of it's divine order. This has to happen, then this has to happen, then this has to happen, then this has to happen. And then you're going to do that.
Right.
And we tend to be really impatient. We want it all right now. We want it fast. We want it quick and in a hurry. And sometimes things just need to take time. All of this change and how it's happened has been, a lot of it has been to make us stop and smell the roses. We've talked about that, and we've read about that, and we've told other people to do it, but we haven't done it.
That's true.
This has given us the chance to just chill and look at what life is around us, and look at a lot of the things that we were doing that really were not that important to being.
Right. And it's really true. And we were talking before we hit record on the show today. We were catching up because we haven't seen each other in quite a while. how, and I've felt and heard the same thing, that a lot of us have gotten a lot of downloads in this downtime. It was intentional to slow us down so that we could process and integrate the downloads easier than if we were out running, going, and getting downloads. They are preparing us for what's to come, to be able to help people, shifts and changes, information that we're going to need, knowledge. I think a lot of people during this pandemic of being home are awakening, meaning they know there's something bigger, and so they're going to come out searching for answers and seeking, and they're preparing us to be ready to help people, to help guide them to really shift. And I've been getting lots of downloads. Lots of people that I'm connected with are getting downloads. And when we talk about downloads, just for people listening, they're like, what are they talking about? It's like, we talk about intuitive gifts. I hear, I see, whatever. But downloads, it's like you get all the information all at once, or it comes in a package that opens at some period of time, like a key being unlocked, and you're like, oh, that's what that was. That's what I needed to know. And all of the pieces. It doesn't come in a flow like a conversation. It's very telepathic. You have all of it all at once. And if you're getting downloads at home, just some of the symptoms could be you're extra tired, or you're nauseous, or you might not feel so well because your energy's shifting and things are changing. Your perception may change. How the things that you see, you might see things really differently or hear things really differently. Those are kind of some of the side effects. Some people feel the pressure in their head as it comes in, pressure in parts of their body. Have I missed anything, Brenda, on some of the...
you may get your ears ringing. Ringing. I know some people who will have gotten headaches, and you'll hear them say, I never get headaches, and I've had a headache for the last, things like that. There's been a lot of information download. I've woken up and I typically don't remember my dreams because I've been getting downloads all my life, and they give me the information I'm going to need for who I'm going to talk to the next day or who I'm going to meet. And I don't even need to know what it is until the person's in front of me, and then it flows. This has been a bit more intense, and you wake up feeling like you didn't sleep, but you ran a marathon, or you sat up all night, but you've been asleep for 8 hours or 7 hours. It's just been, it's been a lot. They've been giving us the tools that we're going to be needing. And for the ones that are awakening, they're giving them the beginnings. They've ignited a lot of the gifts that have lain dormant. And so I've had a lot of folks come to me, and I ask them, well, have you had a lot of deja vu? Have you been seeing things and wondering why what that is? Or you hear something and you wonder why you understand that when you've never heard it before. And that it's all a part of this enormous growth and change that we are going through.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons that I wrote this book, is to help. And I didn't want it to be a big tome like a textbook. I want it to be quick, fast, and you can read this. It won't take long, and it will help you answer some questions. And if it makes you have more questions, that's even better, because it means that you're thinking about what's going on inside you.
Well, I definitely want a copy. I definitely want some for the new store, of course. So we'll have to connect and figure that piece out.
Yes.
Because I definitely like to have. And I know you talked about before we came on that you're working on a course for this, where people can take it and do some exercises. So
each chapter ends with an exercise. And you could quite competently do it all by yourself, but what I want to do is walk people through each of the exercises, because even though you think you explain something really well, there are always people that will read it and go, what? So the class is going to be, it's going to be in 2 parts, because there's 8 chapters, so there are 8 exercises, and we'll do the first 4 and then let that settle for an evening, and then come back and do the next 4. And when you're done, my intent is when you're done, you'll be able to talk to your angels on your own. You'll know who they are, or you'll know where they came from, when they attached, as far as your guardians, and you'll be able to recognize when they're trying to get your attention, and that you'll know you have some power over the magic and miracles that are happening in your life.
I love that. I love that. People think that things happen to them. And
Yes.
one of the hardest things to get people to understand is you create what happens.
That's
Either
right.
through your thoughts, your actions, your words, your feelings, your emotions. We create some of this. We say something, and I know I have, where it's came, and then a few days later you're like, oh, that's not what I meant. That's not what I was thinking.
Yes.
The universe is like, well, you didn't tell us that. Here you go. So I love that. I love giving people the tools to really empower their lives, to give them the power back to have the life that they want. I just love you, Brenda. I love you for so many different reasons. Is there anything that we didn't cover today? Because I wanted to cover all the beautiful things that you offer and you have.
So my 2 meetups, they're the one is the second Friday of every month, unless a metaphysical fair happens, and with all the dates moving around, that's been a possibility here. But the second Friday of every month, it's called Angels and Other Guides, an open gallery, and I have a guest healer with me every month. We have been doing them online because they pull more than 10 people typically. It works really well. I do it through a Zoom room. And the other guests I've had, some of the folks I've had, Susana Magdalena, I've had Jason Antelek, I've had Gail Fowler. I've got you scheduled, Vialet. So it's been a lot of fun. I have found that the energies of everyone I've worked with, we've worked really well together, and the people get amazing information. Oh, Sherry Schoen also, before they left, she did one with me, so that was cool. The other meetup is on the 4th Monday of the month, so that's tomorrow evening. Is called the Angel Power Hour. That one is just me, and I open it up, invite your angels in. Everyone gets a little information from their angels. It depends on how big the group is as to how much time is spent with each person. At the end, the angels will have me. I've done waves. I've done a little bit of healing energy. It depends on what the group needs. Both meetups are at 7. They go from 7 to 10. And they're on Zoom. And let's see, the Angels and Others Guides is $30. The Angel Power Hour is $20. So they're not going to break your bank either. The Seraphic Wisdom courses, over the next, I have not set the dates yet because I haven't heard what dates yet. But the Love and Faith, I'm going to be teaching in July. And the Birth of the New Avalon, I may teach that class at the end of the month. So I haven't, that's what I'm feeling, but I haven't looked at dates yet. You can go to my website, thelightofnature.com, and that's where you find the information on the classes, when they're being held and when they're set, and you can register from there. I'm working on the third book in the fiction series. It's called Freedom Rings. So I'm hoping that I get that done so I can publish it next spring. And I know there's going to be a sequel to Allowing the Magic, Allowing the Miracles, but they haven't told me what yet. So there's lots going on up here and up here. It's just a matter of when all of it gels and comes together.
It's all timing, right?
It's all timing. Yes, ma'am.
All timing and perfect timing, and we have to allow. And so really cool. I love seeing everything that you're doing. I know for me, I can't wait till we can have in person and be together again and be out and about. I know most of us, or a lot of us, are starting to slowly move back into that space. I know I'm teaching an angelic Reiki class at the end of June, so we're slowly getting back. We'll start offering in-person programs at the center in July and August, so we're slowly moving back into that space, what that looks like. Of course, we'll have to limit it for a while, but that'll be okay. We'll do online and in person so that everybody gets an opportunity. But thank you so much, Ms. Brenda, for taking the time this morning.
And I'm doing the one-on-ones in person now if people want to do that. So that's.
And as we talked before the show started, just because you're doing a one-on-one session through an online system doesn't mean you get less.
No, it doesn't.
The energies and the healings they're not restricted by time nor space. We put restrictions on it, but they're not restricted.
Yeah.
The sessions are just as beautiful and just as valuable to do them that way. So check out Brenda's sessions. You will not be disappointed on her online page. So thank you so much, Brenda, for coming. Thank you for watching. We really do appreciate you being here, and we hope to see you really soon.
Thank you for joining us. To find out more about Vialet and how she can help you discover your spiritual gifts, head over to discoveryourspiritualgifts.com and on YouTube at Discover Your Spiritual Gifts. You can also send a personal message to Vialet through email, violet@discoveryourspiritualgifts.com. Until next time, remember, we are meant to have abundant and joyful lives. We hope to see you really soon at Discover Your Spiritual Gifts.
Discover connection, awaken sacredness, become empowered. Come experience a difference at Discover Your Spiritual Gifts.